Okay. 2 more minutes left. 2 more minutes. Hopefully it's not too loud. I bet we are getting Act 5. Maybe. Hopefully. And I hope that we get some new skills. Not just for the druid. Because, yeah. And also some good end game changes. I really, really hope.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for. So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
Now let's see. You're naked, dude. What the hell?
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a
He's dressed
question.
up. Okay.
What's wrong with him?
Ah, he's lost his bloody
You
mind.
just smacked him. What's wrong with him? Okay, looks cool. Werewolf. That. Tornado. Did we also have it? I don't remember. Okay. Druid's cool. We'll see. But I'm actually more interested in the rest.
I will find you, Eve.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity.
Wait, what?
The Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the Druid typically uses magical staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world. One of the first skills you will learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth. This skill spits out balls of magma at your enemies, and will continue to do so for some time.
Okay.
While the volcano is active, turn into an animal and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out.
I mean, we saw this
But how do you turn into an
back in the
animal, you may
reveal,
ask?
like
Well, the answer is a new weapon type that druids use, animal
Channeling?
talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent.
werewolf
Depending on what
and
you
bear.
choose, you'll be given that animal's basic attack
Didn't he
as a new
say
skill
there
to
were
equip.
3?
For a bear, that's maul. To turn into a bear, simply use the skill. Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack. If you want to change back to a human, just cast a spell. You
So
will
no
instantly
cooldown.
swap back and cast it. We
Like,
wanted to make
yeah,
sure
nice.
that swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle. In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way. The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect for use with your bear form's
Looks cool.
furious slam. While in bear form, many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with maul. Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your furious slam. Your bear form can also go on a
The
rampage,
rage,
stomping the ground as you demolish your foes.
The rage bar is barely noticeable.
The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts, and doing it over a volcano makes it even better. As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar. Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance
shark
charges you have
was
when you use
really
it,
cool.
the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket any Warcry gem from another class into it, giving you the ability to use these skills as a bear.
Nice.
Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
There's no cooldown on it either.
Or use Seismic Cry to stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
Okay.
You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Cow. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well, wait no longer. Finally,
I mean, wait
build up
one
enough
more
rage
week,
and you
I
use
guess.
one of the bear's ultimate abilities, Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear apocalypse. Now the bear is known for being a slower and more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams. But what if you want to turn into something a little more nimble? Well, let's check out the second animal form for the druid, wolf form. For the wolf form, we wanted to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes.
Whoa.
After attacking, the wolf stands up on 2 legs, but after running for a short time, he goes back on all 4s, allowing him to move more quickly between packs of enemies. The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon, and the first of these is Lunar Assault. It's great for freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake
Why
attack to
am I-
knock shards of ice off your enemies,
Okay.
which land on the ground nearby and explode. If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them. Killing the marked enemy will summon a wolfman into your side, allowing them to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves you have. So make sure you keep your pack strong. Now, one problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their
Okay.
abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing him. Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then follow up with Cross Slash to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your
This will probably be a
If they're still alive after that,
an
your
OP
pack of wolves
strat
can
to
finish
kill
them.
bosses. Probably. Someone will
Just
come
like
up
with the
with
bear's
something
raw skill
stupid.
earlier that allows you to use skills from other classes, Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce. After pouncing at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time.
Nah,
The
it
wolf
doesn't
has
seem
many other
too
ways
much
to go
cold
all in on
damage.
cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as well. You can also use it to freeze enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos.
Looks
Finally,
cool
the
though.
wolf also has the ability to call down the power of the moon to transform into an Arctic werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold
Like
damage.
3 seconds.
Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form, so you could try a hybrid bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect. Alright,
Interesting, yeah.
let's talk about the third form available to the Druid, and I think it's a cool one. The Wyvern. The Wyvern has a
Wyvern.
number of long-range breath abilities.
Whoa,
But that
that's
doesn't mean you can't get into melee
unexpected.
range when you want to.
Okay.
The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend.
This
Jump
shit looks
forward into
good.
combat
Cool.
and slash your enemies with your lethal talons. If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage. After the battle, though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, and this is when the Wyvern's
Okay.
abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this do a bunch of damage, but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack.
Okay. Like
Once
Reap,
your wings
but
are charged,
lightning.
your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage. If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually
Without
die.
the damage over
When
time.
you see this blue marker, just
That's it.
devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier after all.
That is.
Alright, so those are some melee options. But how about range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all.
Yep, that's what I thought
Rolling
about.
Magma
yeah.
is the first of the Wyvern's breath attacks.
Rolling magma.
Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground. These balls will trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a good idea to cast one as a human right before you start
Okay.
spitting.
Interesting.
But that's not all you can spit. You have something a little
Tar.
nastier in that gullet of yours. Spitting a barrage of oil at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite. If you have power charges, though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The more power charges you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at range. They're
Oh,
vulnerable to melee
okay.
attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that, let's take a quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature to create entangling vines to slow down your enemies. Another of nature's punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet.
Whoa.
Why is that useful?
Wet.
Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning damage from your wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well.
Okay,
You know what else
so
likes water? Plants. Water your plants.
it's like
to give them
drenched
extra
from
abilities.
Hydrosphere in
Use lightning
PoE
storm
1.
with Entangle to make them last longer, and attach more vines to each enemy, slowing them further. Summon thrashing vines to slam at your enemies for a time. Any that are created in water will be larger and deal more damage. Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage.
Interesting.
Now, this last wyvern ability is just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
Nice.
Now,
I
there
bet
are
it
few other
will
skills we
have
didn't cover,
a big
but there's one in
cooldown.
particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell totems. Spell totems are meta gems that
totems
let you create
again.
a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time.
Okay,
In order
use
to create one,
wisdom
you will need to
too.
spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning. Really, the options are kind of endless. Your bear form can easily generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power
This
charges by eating
means
corpses.
self-cast
So it's pretty
is
easy for the druid to
dead
get the charges needed,
again.
but they're also available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking about how best to take advantage of these.
Yeah, mostly.
Now, of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game,
30.
but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here. Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them.
Okay,
It's great for the wyvern's wing blast.
cool.
You can also use it on many other classes with
Like
wing skills,
monks,
like the twisters on the huntress,
Or
the
hunters,
monks'
yeah.
staggering palm projectiles.
Okay,
Accelerated growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain. And Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield. It's great for watering plants en masse, or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along.
yikes.
And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well. Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the Druid's animal form Warcries, or on the Warrior for a nice power boost. Grounding Shocks causes monsters you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously
It's gonna
needed
be
more
cool
AoE clear.
to have totems too.
There's a whole pile more, but we'll leave those for you to discover. Now with a new class comes new Ascendancy classes. The Druid will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later.
Okay,
The first class is the Shaman. The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies.
Shaman was expected.
By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage the angrier you
Spell
are.
damage per rage.
And with Furious Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to
Rage
empower your
second.
spells. With the knowledge of the
Mana regen
Asmerian
applies
Magi,
to rages.
the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman. These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for
Light
enhancing your build.
magnitude.
You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury. There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class for now. The other Druid Ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage. When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage. And with Converging Paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future, and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both. And one of my favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the tree. By allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you. For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing their spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death.
Avoid death.
Both the Druid Ascendancies offer interesting and unique
That's
ways
new.
to gain modifiers that no other classes can get, so we're expecting a huge variety of build possibilities from these. Now there are unique talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon, converting most of your damage to fire. As
Okay,
a demon, you
that's
can also
cool.
use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you. This unique also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily. Now, of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the fate of the Vaal.
Heck yeah.
The palace of Queen Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines still churn. The temple has many functions, and with it, a chance to save the Vaal. A gateway through time.
Yeah, yeah, incursion back. Nice.
Travel into the past, again and again.
Hell yeah. This is my type of
Alter
mechanic.
the temple, uncover its secrets.
That's way bigger than
You will be rewarded for your sacrifice.
wait, what?
And somewhere in the deepest chamber, my queen awaits.
It's
I
cool.
beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do. It adores me.
Okay.
Come now. Give
People
unto
got
me
what they
your
wanted.
desire. At last.
But she doesn't have 4
fulfill my
boots.
song.
Yet. That's nice. This is
Hi,
actually
I'm
the
Mark
first
Roberts,
time
game director
we
on
can
Path of Exile.
actually see
In the fate of the
naked
Vaal League, you will
NPCs.
find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast. They
intentionally.
seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power, but not
Oh.
enough to fully activate it.
We
It
need
seems
like
you will
6.
need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things
weird.
don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted
Okay.
versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and sometimes even stronger foes. On fully activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In
Obviously.
front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's personal chambers are on the far side. But how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice.
She has 4
And this
boots.
energy
Okay.
can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the dungeon, and place rooms beside them full of precious
Oh,
loot.
okay. Thought we have to
After you are happy
find
with
the
your
rooms, but
choices,
we can. And that's
open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On entering a room, the doors will slam shut behind you and you will need to face the encounter within. But choose wisely. It's important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns. For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command.
oh.
With better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding. Different
What are the
rooms have
rewards?
different requirements for leveling up. For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an
What's a
adjacent
smithy?
golem works, and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous.
Yeah, I can see
You
that.
don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on the temple. After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back, making the temple larger and larger and larger. So, that's the basic functionality of the temple, but there is a lot more. Once Doriani finds out about your travels to Liraval, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new
Is that a new
mission.
skill?
The temple entrance contains
No,
a
no,
prototype
never
of
mind.
the time portal
It's
device.
ballista.
It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point. Right before Itzeri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Val. He requests that you go back and attempt to stop Itzeri to prevent the Val from ever being destroyed.
It's cool. Fucking
Itzeri is
Stargate,
on the far side of the temple,
but
so you will
triangle
need to
rather.
expand the
So-
temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a
Itzeri's
room
vault.
that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms. But while doing so, you will probably want to exploit some of the Val technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be used to corrupt a single item.
Double corruption.
But
Is it?
placing it next to a thaumaturge to run the place,
Has to be.
and a sacrificial chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up. And it's worth
Level
it.
3
Because
locus
once you
of
get the rooms to
corruption.
level 3,
Awesome.
there are
Double
some very
corruption.
nice rewards to be had. In a level 3 corruption chamber, you will find this mysterious device. It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted.
Oh,
What will happen to them?
okay.
Well,
So
normally once an item
no
is
double
corrupted,
corrup-
you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time.
Oh,
adding
it's a
another
double corrupt.
enchantment.
But
This has the capability to
Has to
craft
be
some
already
very
corrupted.
powerful items indeed. But be warned, the Val are all about taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
only a 50% chance. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Each room
That's
has
worth
its
it.
own interesting mechanics and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops, and in
Talisman?
many cases, new
Do we
crafting
have
opportunities.
talismans?
For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Val construct to fight. But if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores.
Okay,
Like Guatalice's
so not
thesis, which
corrupted
on boost
gems,
allows you
but
to
soul
sacrifice your
cores.
life to run faster. Or Sita Qualotl's thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires. Get a sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Val unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways.
volume.
One of the mods of
Yeah.
this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod.
Oh, just like in PoE 1 that we
For
got.
example,
Yeah.
This soul mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die. By using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Now, one extra thing to mention about these Val
Full
crafting
mantle.
machines.
I'm probably gonna get
You
one.
don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple.
Seems pretty good.
If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade it if you want.
Okay.
Now, there are all sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple, but the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Val Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab. But be careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal lab. Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Val are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself?
What?
After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right leg. Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform better than your normal one. Now, there is just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state.
Oh.
You might need to return to the Val Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next time.
So.
Some rooms, like the Commander, can give you a new type of reward. Medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways.
I'm probably not gonna use that shit. I die all the time, so.
Will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up.
Okay.
And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple, allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time. Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts. Now, with all that aside, time to face the Architect, and you will be in for a fight.
You can see that.
Once defeated, you will find another console that can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards. There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency. But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments.
Says item returning
Like this one,
any
that can
augment
extract the
socketed
socket balls
in it.
back out of an item, at the cost of destroying it.
Oh. I mean, sometimes it's
Now,
probably
something
good.
really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the endgame. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Val works well for late game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match. Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters. We also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often. Now in each league, it's important that we have a new pinnacle boss to test your character's might. In the Fate of the Val, you will get to face Adzeri, while she was at the peak of her power. One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Val herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Adzeri communes with the beast's power and takes her true corrupted form.
She got the two
Now,
other set.
we're
I
not
mean,
going to show you the
other
whole
set of
fight,
boots.
but we will tempt you with one of the rewards.
Okay.
This is Adzeri's rule. This staff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted
Damages
jets
extra
and
fizz.
lets you trade life for
Cast
extra
speed.
damage. But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other. So, that's the Fate of the Val League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game,
Nice.
along with a few changes.
Yeah, that's
Now, for
expected.
those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the league mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame.
Do we still have
If you want to
infested?
specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run.
Nice.
You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function. Now
That's
that
a
Abyss is core,
currency.
it also needs its own Atlas tree.
Yay.
You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options. You might just want more monsters and bosses. But you could also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal. Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying. So, we have removed that. In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well. This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content. But it was both annoying to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter.
Yeah.
Instead,
good thing,
we are
yeah.
bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each. Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency.
Okay.
Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from instilling, so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give. Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency, because it adds too much micromanagement.
Yeah,
But
that's...
on that note, Fate of the Val does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly, so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey.
That's good.
Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters. In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after letting this simmer for a while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life. In addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level.
Extra
This only
powerful
applies to
characters.
regular monsters, not bosses. We have also reduced the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes, which also helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The scope was a bit too large, and so we'll need to wait until 050 for that. But rest assured, there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon. Now, another problem that becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance. And we have done a lot of work here. The primary issue is CPU load. And to address that, a lot of things have been optimized. And we have done a lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores.
That's good.
You
I have
should see
32.
frame rates of at least 25% higher. And a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay. It does make quite a big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months. Of course,
Cool.
another important area is game balance. and we have made a lot of changes.
Hell yeah.
Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers. As well as adding 11 new unique items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often. We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new Druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava. Alongside the 20 plus new Druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off,
So
there are also over
nerfed a bunch of shit.
250 new passive skills added to the passive tree. These changes should go a long way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content.
Don't give me hope.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs.
Getting
Each tier
roaches?
contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions.
Not
As
roaches.
always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Precursor series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. First up, the Marble Statue Character Effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you next move, the stone crumbles around you. The Precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal.
Ooh, that's cool.
Witness the power of its pull as you approach it. Draw in enemies with your own gravitational pull with the Awakened Precursor armor set. The Precursors designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one used to serve as a scout that would patrol and tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the Master of the Forge can do it for you? Molten gold spills out as the Forge Master breaks down your items.
Oh, savage. Nice. A cool
The
effect.
Relic of the Precursor's map device is a mysterious machine that sits atop ancient colossal statues. It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your Precursor tablets used in the device. The Kalgurin pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Kalgurins had astounding skill in astronomy,
Okay,
being
level
able
up
to track
effect.
cosmic
Cool.
events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the Astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat. The time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of. Crush unique enemies by unleashing the wrath of the lost Kalgurin fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself. A Kalgurin seafarer needs armor fit for the treacherous seas of Rayclast. This set has you covered with the classic tricorn and, of course, a peg leg.
So far,
The
the
lost
league
treasure weapon
mechanic
skins
is
top
the
off your
coolest, I
appearance
guess.
of a true raider of the seas.
And then the
These gilded
rebalance
weapons can be applied to
thing.
wands, two-hand
Yeah, that's
maces,
probably
and
better.
shields.
Hopefully.
After a long day of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout, a home of some of the most deadly, ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant kraken, waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally, any microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Nice.
Thank you very much for all your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, at 11 AM NZ time, we'll post the patch notes. With release at the end of next week,
2
our community team will be
hours?
posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the
Right.
news.
Midnight for me.
Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to playing alongside our fellow shapeshifting exiles, all while uncovering Lost Val secrets by doing some dungeon crafting. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Druid is cool. I'm probably gonna try out the Wyvern, maybe. We'll see after the patch notes. The League mechanic is cool. Definitely gonna try that out. And looking forward to the patch notes. Yep, the rebalance is probably the most important right now. I was really looking forward for the end game things, but yeah, next time. So maybe March, April. Yep. It was cool. And I am off. That was it. Bye. Have a nice day.